We are like this, very, very open.
Okay, ma'am, we are going. Ready.
Good evening, everyone. Hello. So, Saturday again, and we meet you all again. So, today we are going to welcome Nitika Nagpal. Hello, Nitika. How are you doing?
Hi, Usha.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. How are you?
So, yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Just a little introduction. So, for all of you, Nitika is a founder of the Renew Mind. That's RM. And we would also call her a positive psychological trainer. She has taken a lot of certified programs in positive psychology from UPenn and cognitive fitness from the Harvard. She also holds a master's degree in economics and has worked in various capacities in different organizations for more than 10 years. Welcome, Nikita. All yours, and
Thank
let's
you.
hear
Thank you so
something
much.
great from you. Okay, let's hear it.
Thank you. I'm really delighted, and thanks to Mahatattva, I'm here speaking to all of you. And I'm really excited to see that people are, interested in developing and cultivating the skill of well-being. Training of mind is such an important thing for each one of us. And up until now, we've talked about well being. Everybody just hear the tag well being. But how do you actually cultivate well being is an important point to understand. Well being is actually a skill. And how do we achieve it? We teach you how do you achieve it, and we provide you scientific ways to follow a skill set. Some pillars of science will provide you that insight, the steps, how do you achieve well being and flourish in life. Um, in this session today, we will have an holistic approach. We will make you experience what is awareness. At the same time, we will help you understand the theory part of it. So, we'll be talking about the theory, what is awareness, what is mindfulness, and we'll lead you through experiencing awareness in a way that I'm sure you'll be delighted by the end of the program. And the takeaway will be that you'll be uh, able to cultivate some points of well-being in your daily life. So I think let's get started, and I'll
Yes,
share my
really
screen.
looking forward, really looking forward to it.
Absolutely. I'll start with the conceptual part of awareness and talking about renew mind first. I hope everybody can see my screen. So Renew Mind provides you scientific approach to training the mind. We make you learn these simple skills to be calm and focused. In our motive of helping you learn to train the mind, we have collaboration with our resource partners, Healthy Mind Innovations. Healthy Mind Innovations was started by Dr. Richard Davidson and Dr. Cortland Dahl in US, in Madison, US. Dr. Richard Davidson is the founder of Center for Healthy Minds and Healthy Mind Innovations. He's a pioneer in two areas of neuroscience. One is effective neuroscience, which is neuroscience of emotion, and also the emerging neuroscience of cultivating well-being. He has worked, his work has made difference in thousands of lives, and he's a friend and confidant of Dalai Lama. He is part of the Global Council on Mental Health. Dr. Cortland Dahl is a leading expert on the science of mindfulness and cultivation of well being. His research focuses on studying the psychological and neural mechanisms of different families of meditative practices. Dr. Kort is the creator of Healthy Minds program, and along with Dr. Richard Davidson and Dr. Christy Wilson, they have developed a new scientific model of well-being, which is based on contemporary neuroscience and classical contemplative frameworks. And that's the framework that we're going to talk about, which has been validated by science and is being used worldwide um, to develop well-being and cultivate well-being in ourselves. Now, to start the session, I would just want you all to ponder on this question, which says, what do you do to take care of your mind? What is it exactly that you do? Take a moment to think about what exactly do you do to take care of your mind. I'm sure you all are thinking hard of what exactly you do to take care of your mind. If I were to ask you a different question, and that would be, what do you do to keep yourself happy and content? I'm sure you will tell me that you exercise well, you eat healthy, you make your finances in a proper order, and you also have supporting relationships. All these are very, very vital for our well being. But what is it that we do for our mind? How is it that we forgot about our mind when we know that a state of mind shapes up everything that we do, including our abilities to manage our physical health, financial health, and our relationships? We can only think of this as our brains like a sailboat in a turbulent ocean without a rudder. It's being shaped by the winds around us. It's moving on the left, on the right, because there is no rudder. And what we are talking here is to putting on the rudder and bringing awareness to what we are doing so that we take charge of the ship and we steer this ship. So if we can skillfully manage our thoughts, impulses, reactions, and um, emotions, we will be better armed to make wiser decisions, solve problems, and face the everyday stresses of life. We can use our brain's capacity to recoup from unpleasant situations of life and lead a much, much happier life. Now, as I said, well being is a skill that can be learned. Now, how do we see that well being is a skill? A very important and a breakthrough research happened 15 years back in neuroscience, which talked about that brain exhibits plasticity. I'm sure most of you would have heard this term called neuroplasticity. And our brains exhibit plasticity. What it simply means is that the brain can change. It can change in response to experiences, but it can also be changed or transformed through intentional training. And this training that we are talking is intention training to actually train the mind. And research shows that when we train the mind, we can actually change our brain. The finding in neuroscience of training the mind impacts every nook and corner of our everyday lives. We can become more sensitive to what's going on within us, to our internal being, and also to our external world. And this enormously is valuable because there's stuff going on in our minds around us all the time, and we are so typically unaware of this. So basically, our minds are changing every day, willingly and unwillingly. And most of the times it's changing unwillingly. When we take charge or we take control of our mind and decide that we will bring transformation to this change, we will do an intentional training. That's when we bring more information, more changes in our brain. And bringing our mind or bringing awareness to our mind, bestowing it with this beautiful gift of awareness, enables us to harness this information that we get that we previously were opaque about. And plasticity is one thing, which is present throughout our life every day, even when we grow old. It's not that our brain don't change; it still changes. So we should never give up. Our brains are continuously exhibiting this plasticity. So this is a reminder to us that this hardcore neuroscience research that underlines the premises is that well-being is a skill. It is attainable, it can be learned, it can be cultivated. Now I'll give you a small example to understand how any skill can be developed. For example, language is a skill that every human being is born with. Now, for language, for any infant to develop this capacity of language, they need to have that community, they need to have that support system, and they have to cultivate it. It's the same way. Well-being is a skill which each of us have. We have awareness. Awareness is the inner capacity. Every individual has it, and we need to nurture it and cultivate it so that it can help us to flourish more and live a much happy life. Now to ground us back into specifically focusing on awareness, today is we are focused on the set of skills that are rooted in healthy minds framework. Now, healthy minds framework that was developed by Dr. Kotland and Dr. Richard Davidson has 4 pillars, and we're going to talk about those pillars which have been validated by science. There is a full paper on it which has been approved by science, and it is being used worldwide and taught worldwide. And this unique scientific framework contains a set of skills that science points are beneficial for our well-being. And this framework, which we lovingly call is ASIP, which means awareness, connection, insight, and purpose. Awareness is to be present. And for the purposes of this session today, among all the 4 pillars, we will only be talking about awareness. And if you notice, under awareness, there's a simple slogan which says, be present. So we'll dive deep into awareness and what is it to be present. Now, most of the times in our activities that we do, including the mundane activities of our daily life, maybe just doing some simple chores of our daily life, we are not present in the moment. I'll give you an example. When you're brushing your teeth in the morning, how many of you think of the fact that you're there in the moment brushing your teeth? Most of the times when we brush our teeth, we are thinking of the next thing that we need to do. For maybe housewives or maybe women in large, they think that, okay, after brush, I need to go and make breakfast or ask the person in the house help to make breakfast. For males, it could be that I need to complete a task. For children, it could be, oh, I need to watch a game or play something. So we are not present at the moment, even while doing a simple thing like brushing. And when we are not aware, we are actually distracted. And distractions are very unhealthy for our well-being. It takes a complete toll on our happiness, on our well-being. And this was validated by a huge research done by scientists from Harvard. And what they did, they gave smartphones, and it was done globally to many people, and a survey was done, and it was a real-time survey that was done. And they found out that 47% of the time we are distracted. It means nearly half of our waking life we are distracted. It's huge. It's 47% of our life we are distracted. And the survey also found out that people, when they are distracted, they are less happy. So being distracted is actually toxic for our well-being. And the title of this paper really sums it up all. It says, the title is, A Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind. And so being distracted takes a toll on our well-being. When we are not paying attention, we are less content, less happier. However, if we start focusing on small things, if we are present in the moment, we can be much more happier, more focused, and engaged. Let's look at the definition of awareness, which is developed by Healthy Mind Framework. Awareness is a heightened and flexible attentiveness to sensory experiences like hearing and seeing, as well as internal experiences such as bodily sensations, thoughts, and emotions. To put it simply, awareness is our capacity to know. It's our capacity to know what's going on in our surroundings. It's our capacity to know what's going on in our body, in our mind, in our emotional landscape. So awareness is It's the foundation of training the mind to other three pillars: the connection, insight, and purpose. They are secondary, and the foundation of our well-being is awareness. Stable awareness allows us to notice our thoughts, our emotions. It helps us to maintain a sense of inner balance, to be focused more at work, and also it helps us to be present in relationships. And also, awareness is so critical for our self awareness. What it means is, when we strengthen awareness, we gain capacity to regulate our thoughts, emotions, and our attention. With higher levels of awareness, we have a sense of being fully present in what we are doing, who we are with, and in our own internal senses. But when we are unaware, with lower levels of awareness, we are mostly distracted and most of the times on autopilot mode. Now, I'll just give you an example. How many of the times when we are interacting with someone, we are also looking at the phone, the messages? That is distraction. You're not focusing, your awareness is not in the conversation. And most of the times in conversations like this, we come up again and say that, can you just repeat what you said? Because I didn't hear. I didn't hear because I wasn't aware. So, awareness plays a very critical role in our life. And bringing awareness in small, small things, small tasks, small chores, bringing awareness while talking to someone, bringing awareness, maybe doing house stuff, maybe making the bed, is so very important. Let's look at the skills that are required to strengthening awareness. To strengthen awareness, there are three skills that we really, really need to focus on. The first is mindfulness, then is attention, and then it's self awareness. And for this session today, we are focusing on mindfulness. Mindfulness is known or defined as a heightened way of awareness of what's happening in our body, mind, and surrounding. We know that we are knowing. That's mindfulness. What's happening in our surrounding, in our senses? We have our control, we have a capacities to strengthen mindfulness through practice. Now, we get stuck in our lives in so much of overdrive. The world is constantly telling us that, the only hope is to work hard, do better, to do more. Uh, Maybe if I have a different kind of car, maybe if I get a beamer, maybe if I become this, maybe if I travel to Paris, maybe if I do this, then my life will be perfect. But this image of an ideal life is actually a mirage. By just getting some extra hours of work, sometimes we think just one more hour and we will be able to finish this. Or if I would just be able to do some more dieting. So, with every step forward, we feel that we have more to do. The belief that keeps this idea rolling is the belief that who we are and what we have actually is not enough. That we need better experiences, better things to make our life so much more happier. But what if who we are is just enough? If our self worth is based on who we are and not what we are doing, we'll be much better off. At the end of the day, we are human beings and are not human doings. There is another way to live. Just as we learned to be so busy, so occupied, continuously on the move, there is another way to live a life, to be more calm, in both body as well as mind. Your mind is perfectly fine just as it is. And mindfulness actually can help you tap this quality. Mindfulness is just being, it's the art of doing less. When we are mindful, we are not wanting or waiting for the future to be better. We're not waiting for our future to be better and much, livelier, happier. than the present. We are present in the moment. We are not caught up to improve anything. We just are. This might sound a little bit new age, but science tells us that human beings are, we are born with these capacities. We can learn to be calm, to be aware. These are our innate capacities. We all have these innate capacities, and the only way we can do is to learn and nurture these capacities and grow ahead. I'll just tell you how I actually, got into the entire world of mindfulness and bringing science and contemplative practices. Um, I too had anxiety issues, and due to those anxiety issues, I also, had some. I also felt that I am having some health issue, um, one after the other. And I got my test done and nothing would come out, but I always felt that there is something wrong because there was some kind of anxiety which was prevalent, until I met a doctor who explained to me that this could be a drip effect of anxiety. So when anxiety strikes, you might be aware of it or might not be aware of it. But when you are aware, when you practice these contemplative practice along with the knowledge of science, you are aware. When anxiety strikes, you look at it. This is, oh, so my mind is getting anxious. So let me reframe it. You know the thoughts that are coming in your mind, and you try to reframe those thoughts and come out of those situations. We should be, our mind is just like a sky. It's actually just like a sky which is blue all the time, and the thoughts in the mind are just like clouds. They come, they go. Sometimes they're black clouds, sometimes they're white clouds. It comes and goes, but the mind stays, the sky stays still. It's the same way. If we train our mind in these contemplative practices and scientific ways, we will be calm in all situations of life, and it will help us to develop resilience, which is the core of well being. Well being for everybody is resilience and flourishing, to recoup from difficult situations, to bringing your mind in a present moment, to train your mind that when we face this challenge, we will be able to come out of this challenge in a very efficient way. Now, when we practice mindfulness, it also seems that it's nothing much. It's just we're just taking some mindful breaths, but beneath the surface, big stuff is happening. We are connecting with the part of ourselves that was never broken and doesn't need to be fixed. We can just pause time to time, take deep breaths, notice the sounds. We are going to do this here, and we can just simply be. I really like, a quote by William James, who is considered as the grandfather of psychology. Now, he wrote a book in 1890s, which is called The Principles of Psychology. And he has devoted a full chapter on attention in his book. And he says, and I quote here, the faculty of voluntarily bringing back on wandering mind over and over again is the root of judgment, character, and will. And he goes on to say that education that improves this faculty would be education par excellence. So it's so important for us to understand that awareness and mindfulness, bringing our attention back to what we are doing is so critical and so important for us. Uh, just giving you some examples of how you can bring these mindfulness breathing practices, and for undoing something called anxiety. You have a very important presentation or a meeting, you're heading for that, and you feel a little bit anxious, and how does deep breathing really help you? Deep breathing, every session, uh, for every session or every meeting, something where you're feeling anxious, you can just take deep breaths. It's a skill that it's so practical. You can carry it anywhere. Deep breathing allows the oxygen to move into your brain, and and oxygen calms your cells in the brain, and you are much calmer. So next time when you have to attend a very critical or important meeting, or you're getting anxious for any matter, pause and take 5 or 6 deep breaths. And as you do it during the day, many times during the day, you yourself will see how important and beneficial it is, going to be. Now, as we've just talked about, the theory, the conceptual part of mindfulness and awareness, I think it's time for us to go into an experience lab. And in this experience lab, um, it's going to be different. It's going to be somewhat unconventional, and I would request all of you to sit upright, take a comfortable position. I'll stop sharing and then probably share again. So as we practice awareness, I would request you to sit up straight. Take a comfortable position. You can keep your feet down and not cross-legged. And let's rub our palms. And as you rub your palms or your hands, you will notice some kind of heat. You can also feel moisture. There could be dryness in your hands as well. So rest your mind on this feeling of rubbing your palms together. Now let your palms go. Continue to bring awareness to the sensations in your palms. Chances are there a little bit of tinkling happening in your palms. And that tinkling is moving and changing. The fact that you know that you have this body sensation of tinkling in your palms is awareness. Let's do another experiential practice and a different experiment. Let's raise our hands to 90 degree. If you have pain in your arms, you can just lower down a bit. But I would request you all to raise your arms up in 90 degree. You can close your eyes and feel the sensations in your arm. Your arm is in the air. Get curious about the sensations that you're right now feeling in your neck and shoulder. You might notice the feeling of clothing on your arm. And as you close your eyes, continue to rest your mind in the moment on the sensations in your arm. And as you are doing this, you might notice some fatigue setting in. The point that you feel the pain is awareness. So, attention is the flashlight of the mind that allows us to direct to what we are paying attention to. In this case, our arm. Mindfulness is knowing the sensations in the arm. So, when you pay attention to what's happening right now in the present moment, you are being mindful. And then we can get lost in thoughts, judgments, no longer present in uh, the present moment, no longer aware. And then we can bring our attention back to our hand in 90-degree and the fatigue that set in. We can slowly bring our arm down. So the point here is to connect with the capacity to know. The supports we use here is bodily sensations, and we can anchor our attention to many things. And I'm going to again take you to a longer experience of meditation. I'll lead you through, I'll help you taste what is doing meditation in different ways at the moment. And as you sit straight, continue to close your eyes. Now bring your attention to your breath. Take few slow and deep breaths. Notice how it feels when the air moves in and out of your body. Notice the sensation of your breath, the cool air moving in through the nostrils and warm air coming out. At any point when we feel distracted, we bring our attention back to our breath. Continue to focus on your breath. Take slow and deep breaths. And as you feel distracted, bring your attention back on the breath. Now divert your attention on the sounds in your environment. The sound of a fan in your room, the sound of AC, or any other sound that you may hear in your environment. Again, at any point, if you may feel distracted, bring your attention gently back on the sound in your environment. The sound of the fan, the continuous sound that the fan makes, or maybe some distant sound that you can hear. Try to keep your attention on the sound. And as you experience it, you might feel distracted. So bring your attention back to the sound. Now think of someone you really care about and bring to mind what you really appreciate about this person. You might even imagine saying, doing something, or expressing your appreciation, or simply picturizing that person. Take a moment to think why this person is so special to you. And as distractions come in, gently bring your attention back to someone you really care about. Now, as you are ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes if they have been closed. You just experienced and practiced two important skills: the skill of paying attention on purpose and the skill of appreciation. Now, sometimes you might feel that there are so many distractions and I'm not able to focus while meditating, and meditation is such a difficult thing to do. But the fact that you notice that you're distracted is awareness, because you're aware that your mind is getting distracted and you bring back your attention to what you were doing. I'm sure you were able to taste some bit of meditation, scientific way of meditation on breath. These were body sensations and appreciation skills that we just learned. I would also like to just talk about how you can bring awareness in your daily life. It's very difficult to actually form a habit. The most easy way to form a habit is by including any new thing that you want to practice or add in your life, by adding it to the task that you already do. For example, as I just mentioned a few minutes back, you can start by the most simple thing of paying attention or being aware by when doing brushing, when brushing your teeth. You can focus on the sound that the brush makes while you do brush in the morning and not think of the activities or the tasks that you have to do going forward. You can also try awareness while having your morning coffee or tea and not looking on the phone or reading a newspaper. Just be in the moment and drink tea. That could be part of your awareness. Short moments of pausing and taking deep breaths is part of mindfulness training. When you do small things like these, when you sprinkle small moments of mindfulness awareness during the day, you will see the difference in your daily life. Bring awareness in conversations. When you talk to someone, pay complete attention to that person. When we don't pay attention to someone who's talking, we are actually doing, we become a conversation killer. You're not paying attention to that person. So bring your attention when you talk to somebody. Completely listen to that person and not do multiple tasks at the same time. Mindfulness of breathing can be your starting point. Sprinkling short moments of mindfulness throughout the day before starting your meeting, or maybe when you're living in a city like we do in Gurgaon, where there's so much of traffic, when you're stuck at the red light, just pause, take deep breaths. That is meditation. And the more you will practice these short moments in your life, you will see the benefits that you will have, the calmness that it will give you, especially when you drive, when you practice it. When you stop at the red light, you'll see the calmness that it brings into your life. And as you will see from these short moments, when you'll see the difference, you yourself will increase the time. I have been meditating, and for a couple of years now. But I had started meditating many times, and I had started and I had left it. But that time I wasn't aware of what are the scientific nuances of meditation and how does it affect our brain. And when I started meditating in a way, in a scientific way, I actually, found some side effects of that meditation, as you may say. I was much more focused. I was able to pay attention. I was more cheerful and letting go of small, small things. So, so those things motivated me to go ahead and increase my timing. You can just start with 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes. Then, as you will see the benefits, you'll go ahead. And um, and we have an app which is called Healthy Mind Innovations app, which I'll just show it to you. It's one of the best apps. It's completely free for everybody, and it has all the four pillars, and it takes you in the path of well-being. It trains you. So the module of that app, which I'll just show you. This is my website, and you can actually go on resources from here and download Healthy Mind Innovation app, and it's called guided practice. So there is practice, then there is learning, and you can decide whether you want to do a sitting meditation, you want to do an active meditation. You can decide the speaker, and you can also decide the timing. So it's very convenient, very easy, and it helps you move in the right direction. So basically, it gives you an holistic approach. It gives you the knowledge that you need, and it also trains you how you can do meditation. Now, a very important perspective of meditation, or maybe I can say that there are a lot of myths surrounding meditation, that meditation can be done only while sitting. Meditation can actually be done while doing our stuff, while doing our chores, while walking, and that's called active meditation. And for most of the people who are on the job all the time working, sitting meditations become little difficult. So when you're on the go, deep breathing is your thing to carry with you. It's such a portable um, tool that you can take it anywhere, wherever you go. And that's all you have to do. You have to sit, take deep breaths. You need not even close your eyes. You can just lower down your gaze and deep breath and take deep breathing. So that's mindfulness practice. And meditation is something. What meditation does to your mind is something like what exercise actually does to your body. And so there are so many ways of doing exercise. Somebody does strength training, somebody does aerobics, Zumba, and stuff like that. And the kind of meditation that you do will be uniquely yours. So it doesn't matter whether you do sitting meditation or active meditation. The point is, just pause, just do it, just go for it. And the easiest way is to include it in one of your daily routines, daily activities that you do. Maybe you go for a walk every morning. At that time, pay attention to the fact that you're walking, how your foot is falling on the ground, instead of listening to music or chatting with someone. Just focus on the foot being, uh, how the foot is being put on the uh, on the earth, on the ground. And when you notice that, you'll start noticing small things, that first your fingers move. How does your leg move? So focus on small tasks that you actually do. And that's when you'll see the change, the difference, and that's how you will include those things in your, you increase the time, you include it in your regular practices. And I have been doing that with myself. I don't do hours and hours of meditation or awareness practices. I do it for 10 minutes and, while sitting, but while active, I do it many times. So, sprinkling moments of mindfulness practice is the key of developing this healthy habit of being well. And I would like to end this session here. You can contact us on our website, you can send us a mail, you can contact us on our phone number. And I would just like to end this with this beautiful quote, which was given by the Dalai Lama. And I just simply love this when he said, "When our mind is calm, we are better able to find peace of mind and to live a joyful life." And I'm sure that when we train our minds together, we will be able to rewire our brain and bring those thoughts that are good for our life and help us to flourish more and develop resilience to face everyday challenges and stresses. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Nikita. That was awesome. So I just want to add in here, I would call this as a century of the mind, isn't it? And your
Yeah.
talk today actually gave us a lot of insights on how plasticity in thinking can be a great help. So I would request all of you, let us nurture this skill, and we all are educators here. Let us nurture the skill in our students, and the result would be our well-being and a well-being of the whole, the global world, as I would say it. Thank you so much, Nikita. Thank you once
Thank
again.
you
I
so
hope you
much.
all have benefited a lot from this fantastic talk that Nikita gave us. Good evening and goodbye.
Thank you.